So much for listening to this episode of Earrings Off. We want to invite you to subscribe, rate, and leave us a review. You can find us on Facebook at Earrings Off Podcast and on Instagram at The Earrings Off Podcast.
Welcome to Earrings Off. I'm Lou.
And I'm Teresa. Let's get started.
Well, hello. How are you today?
Hey girl, I'm hanging.
Hanging.
Yeah, I'm doing well.
All right, good.
How about
Teresa,
yourself?
I am doing well.
Okay, good,
And
good.
I'm thankful for it. I had a couple of days of a bumpy ride with some sinus stuff going on, but looks
Mhm.
like I'm on the mend and I'm thankful for it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thankful
Yeah.
for it too.
Yeah. So, Teresa,
Mhm.
this is our final episode in the Stop series. Stop as in quit, as in that's enough. You're doing the same thing and getting the same results, so stop.
Yeah, Lou. We kind of just started this, right? So take a breath. But I will say, this episode might be the most personal one for me.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
live this one, Lou.
yeah. But Teresa, I think we all do. I think we
Yeah.
all do. Today's show focuses on stop living your life as a draft. A draft implies there's a final version coming. You know, that you can get a do-over. You can settle for what you have for now, but you'll fix it later. Get what you actually want or need later.
Yeah, though, that word later is sneaky.
Mm-hmm.
Later sounds responsible,
It does.
mature,
Yeah.
like you're being patient and strategic. But sometimes later is just fear. Let me tell you, let me remind you, that's what it is for me, Lou. This is
Wow.
where the personal comes.
Yeah.
Later is very often fear for me,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But, what if it's just that? What if you know, what if
Yeah.
this is it?
Yeah. Yeah. Teresa, that's a good point because not only you, it's happened in my life as well because so many of us are just waiting. And we're waiting for confidence. We're waiting for permission for somebody else to tell us it's okay. And we're waiting until we're not afraid, until we feel strong enough to move forward.
Right. Meanwhile, life keeps moving. It's writing the version of your life based on what you're choosing right now, what you're tolerating, what you're avoiding, what you keep saying you will deal with when things calm down.
I tell you, that is a hard reality. You know, people they delay doctor visits because they say, you know what, I feel something weird in my body, but I'll get to that later.
Yeah.
They delay important conversations or say, I'm going to address this later and they don't want to start the business. They figure they'll work it out later. They might get the funds later. They'll have time to work on the business proposal. They'll have time to figure it out later. And you know what? The sad thing is, they even say that they'll experience joy later, that good
Mm.
times will come later, you
Hmm.
know? And so we're putting off everything until later. Um, and that's a big concern.
I've actually, like I said, this one's personal for me, but I've also seen people postpone their lives because, they didn't want to make anyone else uncomfortable. So
Yeah,
they stayed quiet and
yeah,
small, right?
yeah,
And then one day looked up and realized time made the decision for them. And
yeah.
then they're I wanted to say we're. And then they're shocked when the time runs out.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
when relationships run out,
hmm,
energy runs out
yeah,
and options quietly, they disappear. You know?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Teresa, that's so true. And so many times in our relationships, um, people, their reaction to our now or our plans will cause us to say later. Because, there have been times in my life I've been gung ho about something and thought I had things figured out and wanted to go down a certain path, but the reactions that I received from people that I loved, caused me to say, okay, what? You know what? I'm going to have to put this aside as a draft.
Yeah,
This is not something I'm going to be able to go forward with.
right.
And it wasn't until I started, reading and learning about the fact that even people that love you, they want you to sort of stay in their draft because that's
Hmm.
where they are. And their draft is safe for them, and you are part of it. You're a
Yeah,
part of their story. And
right.
so they're a little uncomfortable with you now not saying later, but moving forward. Not because, folks, they don't do this because they didn't have dreams, are, but they too are operating on draft mode. And people are comfortable operating that way.
Yeah, because they keep saving them. They're
Yeah,
saving their dreams as well, right?
yeah, yeah.
So kind of like the fine china in our cabinets that we never use.
Oh, I thought about mine the other day. And I'm telling you, let me digress just a bit. I have conversations with friends about that. That was so important when we were young women and establishing our households. And now we
The
don't
hope
use it
chest.
and nobody wants it. The younger family members, they have no interest in that at all. So.
I'm gonna step a little bit out of the topic too. Did you have a hope chest?
No, I did not have a hope chest. I did not.
But
Yeah.
but did people have hope chests in
Yeah,
your
yeah,
day?
yeah, yeah, yeah. They
So
did. They did.
I had a hope chest,
Yeah,
and um I didn't do that for my girls,
yeah,
right? But I
yeah,
absolutely had a hope chest because their lives started a little different than mine. I mean, we
yeah.
were more advanced
Right,
than
right,
when
right.
things changed,
Yeah.
but yeah, so
It's just different. I have to say, recently we were invited to a friend's home for dinner, and she cooked an amazing meal. I'm telling you. I mean, it's like a five-star restaurant. It was seriously, and I'm not exaggerating. But she had all her fine china out, and I felt so special and honored that she went through all of this trouble for us. And then I thought to myself, why don't I do that? But yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So
yeah.
that again, you're right. You're sort of treating your life as a draft. You have it. Enjoy that now.
Oh, right, right. So I've tried to limit, you know, paper and plastic and
Yeah,
those
yeah,
sort of things. So recently, I have not the china that I got. I rarely use the china that we received from
yeah,
marriage,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
So that's special and that's, packed away. But my mom gave me this very nice antique china set,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
I feel like is probably more expensive than the sets we received for, um, as a wedding gift.
Right.
I've been using them, Lou. I mean, it's
Yeah,
a full formal set.
yeah,
And I've been using them, and I had some folks over for dinner and they were like, well, let's use the everyday dishes. I'm like, no,
yeah.
I want to use these. And it felt really good. The problem is, you know, you have to treat them really
You do.
with kid gloves when you're putting them away, and that, prolongs the cleanup time, but
Right,
it's
right,
well
right.
worth it if you ask me.
Right, right, right. Yeah. We're way off track, Teresa. So listen, let's stay focused. Okay. But folks, you know what? Teresa and I digress. Again, we're talking about not treating our lives as a draft. So we wanted to remind you that you don't need a full plan. You really don't need all the steps or all the blanks filled in.
This is one that I know. I understand, but again, I hate to keep referring to myself, but this is hitting so home. But anyway, you just need one honest step, one decision that says, I'm not waiting anymore, not for approval, not for certainty, and not for permission.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm going to tell you, just stop waiting for the perfect moment because I'm here to tell you, spoiler alert, there will never be a perfect time.
Choose presence, choose courage, choose now, because now is the only place life actually happens.
Well, I tell you, if you've been on this ride with us during the Stop series, if you've listened to all three of these episodes, here's the summation of the things we advise you to stop, please, in 2026. When you're exhausted, you stop thinking, so become a critical thinker. When you stop thinking, you stop choosing yourself, so don't normalize exhaustion. And when you stop choosing, life decides for you. So stop treating your life as a draft.
And we want better for you. Not a perfect life, but a deliberate one you're actually living, not saving for later.
That's it. That's the Stop series. I hope that this somehow resonates with you and makes you think about going forward. Thank you so much for joining us today on Earrings Off.
Take good care.